everybody. My name is Elena Baker. I'm here today with my parents, Brian Baker, he's back there, my mom Tony Baker, and my sister Brookie, and my lovely dog Luna, who would love to be here, but sadly she had to be at home because she can't be here. For those who don't know me, here's a little bit about myself. I grew up in a Christian household as the eldest daughter. We went to Metropolitan Baptist Church, and I asked God to be a part of my life when I was 5 years old. I was lucky enough to be baptized by my dad at the Met the following January when I was 6. I started playing the flute in 6th grade, and I'm still playing it 7 years later. It's a picture at one of our contests. While I didn't always enjoy band, I loved to play and sometimes joke that it's a part of my soul. God made me to be a flute player, and I originally wanted to be a percussionist because my dad is one, but as soon as I held a flute, I knew exactly that was the instrument that I was meant to play, and I knew that was, like, I needed to go through, like, I needed to play it. Sorry, that didn't make a lot of sense. So another thing about me is, that's not so happy, sorry about that. I was born with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, of the inattentive type, and as a result, I've had to battle my way through school. It just so happens that school is significantly harder when you have a learning disability and a mental health disorder. So despite all of my academic struggles, I'll be graduating magna cum laude from Bridgeland High School on May 26th. And after I leave, I'll be attending Texas State University for music education in the fall of 2023. So you might be asking, well, why is she gonna major in education if she struggled all through school? Well, my struggles are why I want to be a teacher. I have seen firsthand how hard school is for those who have any kind of disability or disorder. I know exactly how degrading it can be to have a teacher play favorites when you yourself aren't their favorite. I want to be the teacher who cares. My heart aches for those students, and I want to be their advocate. I want to give the struggling student with a bad home life a safe place at school. I want to help the undiagnosed dyslexic feel comfortable in their reading skills. When students walk into my music room or band hall, I want them to know that they are loved, heard, and understood. I want them to make mistakes and then say, that's okay. Miss Baker makes them too. I want to take my bad high school experience, or my bad school experiences, and turn them into happy smiles and laughter. So, my favorite Bible verse is Genesis 3:11. And God said, "Who told you you were naked?" I'm just kidding, my dad made me say that. My actual favorite Bible verse actually is related to what I just said. It's Psalm 126:5. For those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. I love this verse. This verse really resonates with me because I have had many times of sorrow in my life, and I've had lots of struggles that God has used to bring me joy later in life. And I feel like this verse, like, really represents me. I have been very blessed in my life to be able to see God's hand work throughout it. Usually that's not something a lot of people get to see, and I've been very lucky to see it. An example of this is my high school Bible study group. Here is a picture of us last year. Also, if you're curious, Abby's in the picture too. She's on the bottom. Yeah. To give you a look into my mindset, why this was such a very important moment for me, I felt utterly alone last year. I go to a public school full of non-Christian or non-believers, and I felt that I was the only Christian in it. I also had just lost my entire friend group over some nasty rumors, and to top it all off, I got dumped by my first boyfriend of over a year. All within like a week. I know, it's pretty bad. All within like a week of each other. And I kid you not, the day after all of this went down, a girl that I wasn't really terribly good friends with at the time, she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey girlie, how are you doing?" She goes, we're thinking of starting a Bible study with the band kids. Do you want to help create the Bible study? Do you want to join with us? And I was like, absolutely. And I told her later that this was definitely God's work because the timing worked. And this Bible study, as you can see, it started with about maybe 5 of us. And look where it grew to now. Some of these aren't all band kids too. We invited a bunch of friends. Let's see. We weren't really even friends, the girl who asked me at this point, but God put it on her heart to invite me just when I needed it. A more recent example of God working in my life was on my hospital stay this past January. That Wednesday, I just so happened to choose to stay home due to some complications. And it just so happened that something had prevented my dad from going into work that day also. I stood up to leave my parents' room and passed out twice in the middle of the hallway. When I came to, I was terrified because I had lost all of my senses. I couldn't see, I couldn't hear, I couldn't feel anything, and I could not really speak very well. But because my dad was home, he was able to take care of me while my mom called the ambulance. While they were taking me and my mom to the hospital, one of the EMTs told me that God was watching out for me and that he reminded me that he was in control. And then later, after I was admitted to the overnight ward, one of the nurses walked in on me uncontrollably sobbing out of fear, and she prayed with me. Throughout my entire stay, God put the right people in exactly the right places to give me comfort and support. God is always with us, no matter where we are, physically, mentally, or spiritually. Before I close out this speech, sorry it's a little long, I want to say thank you to all of those who prayed for me while I was recovering from my hospital stay. It truly was the scariest experience of my life, and every bit of support was vital to my recovery. I know that many members of this church prayed for me, as well as my family, friends of my family, my dad's coworkers, my Bible study, and many, many more that I know I'm not aware of yet. God made sure I was covered in prayers, and I'm so thankful for them. Upon reflecting on my youth experiences, I would like to thank Miss Lisa, Miss Sandra, where is she? Miss Sandra and Miss Kirsten. They brought the high school girls to my house when I couldn't attend FITS due to COVID. Here's a picture of that. It was really, really special to me. I would also like to thank Mr. Bo and Miss Diane for all of the wisdom, guidance, and support they've given me over the years. I always knew that I could ask them for help, even if a few tears were shed doing so. And lastly, I would like to thank all of those who supported me by coming to my band events, especially Mr. Bo, who came to my 8th grade concert and made me take a picture with a random boy. I still don't know who this kid is, but he will always be remembered in this slightly awkward and funny photo. Here's the more planned photo. To close everything off, I would like to leave everyone with a Bible verse, a sort of benediction. And while I'm no Pastor Ken, I will do my best to say it. This verse is Isaiah 54:10. For the mountains may depart and the hills be removed, but my steadfast love shall not depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the Lord who has compassion on you. Thank you.